Hello everyone, my name is Ada Lee and I come from Hong Kong, China. I'm now 16 years old. Speaking of environmental protection, that goes back a long time ago when I was 8, when my father showed me a documentary named An Inconvenient Truth. This documentary talks about how President Al Gore, as a citizen, take actions around climate change. So as you can see, behind me is a video Mr. Al Gore telling other people about climate change. In the year 2015, I finally had a chance to come to Paris, attending the UN COP21 conference. During the conference, I learned a lot about climate change and also how climate change is affecting every single one of us in this planet. Now, the picture behind me is a picture of me with the UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon. And this one is with the UN Climate Ambassador. Most importantly, during the Paris COP21, I'm also really glad that I attended the civic conference as a representative of teenagers around the world. I asked Mr. Al Gore a question, that is, as teenagers, how can we affect people around us to get involved with this climate change? So the video behind me is when I'm asking the question to Mr. Al Gore, and the person sitting in front is Mr. Al Gore. President Gore very detailedly answered my question, telling me what should I do when I go back to United States and China. How can our voice be really heard? Like, what should we do? Because we are very confused.
Young people have been active online in changing the direction of political change. Every voter must be a climate voter in every election from now on, and every activist must be active.
So when I went back to school in the United States, I shared a lot with my friends about my experience in COP21 and also what Mr. Al Gore has told me. We developed an idea of panda solar, which is bringing what we love in China, the panda, and solar panel together, and that is panda solar. So, as you can see behind me is a picture of the initial idea that we came up after discussions. 2016, which is this year, summer, when I went back to Shenzhen, I am gladly that I attended Mr. Al Gore's Climate Reality Project again. During this project, me and Mr. Al Gore had a more deeper conversation, and during this camp, me and all of the representatives around China, we learned a lot more about climate change, the concept and knowledge. And this has also made me realize how to be a real climate leader. At the same time, attending this conference is another Chinese student that is also studying in the United States. She is my friend. We both together came up with a new idea, that is the small panda solar, which we will have the panda solar in both East Coast and the West Coast in the United States and in high school. Therefore, we can advocate the idea of climate change and environmental protection into more people in the United States, teenagers like us, and in the communities beside the solar station. Lastly, I advocate more teenagers around the world like me to take into actions and realize our green dream. Together, we can change the world. Last year in 2015 Paris, I was honored to be invited by the Chinese government as a high school representative of China. Where there I learned a lot about climate change and how climate change is affecting every single one of us on this planet. I also made a speech there asking a question on what will the world look like for our future generations. But after having met Mr. Ban Ki-moon in the summit, who encouraged me to pursue my dreams, and also Mr. Al Gore, whom I admire at a very young age after seeing his documentary, The Inconvenient Truth, I decided that I would like to do something, and that is, I want to make a change. So I brought back what I learned from the Paris COP21 conference and my will of making a change to my friends and classmates in the United States and in China in an organization called Amiji, which I founded when I was actually 12. And it consists of 200 students from 13 countries around the world. At the same time, also an organization which me and my friend Kylie created